welcome back to LittleLee and Rose. My name is Summer Noel, and today we're going to make a unicorn cup. This is going to be a fun one. It's going to work with a bunch of the different techniques that I have shown you, but it's going to kind of combine them in a different way. We're going to just make this a bright, fun, super duper glittery, super shiny, super glowy, really fun unicorn cup. So we're going to do a hydro dip. That's why the camera is a little farther away than you're used to, usually right down in the business. But I've got you set up higher today so I can bring my bucket right on in here and do the dip for you guys. So what we're doing is we're starting out with this is a 20-ounce modern curve. You can use any size cup you want. That's just what I've got today. And I'm going to prep it and base paint it white. And then we are going to jump right into a hydro dip. So what you want to do is sand it, wash it, and that's how you prep it. You want to sand the whole outside of the cup, just abrade the surface so that the epoxy and the paint can really grab on. Then I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to spray it. When we come back, you'll see I'll have a white cup and we'll be ready to dip. All right, guys, we'll see you in just a minute. All right, we are back. You can see I've got the cup all sprayed white. It is ready to go. It's been sanded and cleaned and spray painted white. This has got about 3 layers of light coats of white. Now we're going to work with satin sea glass. That's Krylon. This is Krylon Gloss Gumdrop. These names are crazy. Gloss Mambo Pink. Summer Squash. This is the one you guys see me use on my Bumblebee cup. And Gloss Grape. And that's a Rust-Oleum. So we've got 2 Rust-Oleums and 3 Krylon colors. I generally prefer Rust-Oleum, but sometimes Krylon is the one that has these really fun colors that well, they haven't been able to come out with them in the Rust-Oleum yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our hydro dip started. So if you have not done a hydro dip, there's multiple things you can do. You can get the water stirring, or you can get the water moving, pour, or you can spray these in and tap the side. So it's kind of whatever technique you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and get this water stirred up because I prefer to have the water moving. I think it gives you a really pretty swirl. I just kind of give it some motion so the water isn't just sitting still. It doesn't have to be a lot. And then I'm going to start spraying. You can see the paint is already starting to swirl around in there, and that's just one color. You got to spray fast. You can't overthink it. If you start overthinking it, the paint dries before you can get your cup in there. So we're using a lot of colors today because, well, it's a unicorn cup. And that's what a unicorn is to me. Okay, so we're going to get that really swirled up. We're going to go in at an angle. And I'm going to twist as I go down. That's going to give it a really good swirl. When you get down under the water, you shake it. And you come up with all these amazing colors. Now, that is super duper cool, you guys. Now, you can use compressed air. Or you can blow just with your mouth. So I tend to just blow with my mouth because I have a pretty good set of lungs from chasing and screaming around the yard with the triplets. But if you have a hard time, you can get compressed air. Now, the cheapest compressed air I've ever seen is at, let's see, Fry's. It's at Fry's Computer Shop, the computer store, the electronics store. They sell 2 cans for like $5. You cannot find it cheaper anywhere else. I've looked. I also have it on my Amazon list in case you can't get out or you don't have a Fry's. So it's available. So there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put this on a drying rack. We're going to let this totally dry, and then we're going to move in on the next step. All right, guys, we'll be right back. All right, we are back with the unicorn cup. So this is what I like to tell you guys. Like, don't overthink your hydro dips. Because some of you would be like, oh, well, there's not a lot of color there. There's too much purple there. But I'm telling you guys, customers love these. This to me is like the most beautiful part of the cup. I love it. Now, the sad part is we're now going to cover this up. But it's still going to show all the really cool colors through it. It's just kind of giving us a really cool background swirl design. So we are going to now hang method this cup, and then we are going to cover it in white. This is one of Glitter Gang's brand new whites. I'm not even sure it has a name yet, guys. I'm sure Charlotte's named it. But I don't know the name yet, because when I got it, she had just received it in, and it was brand new to her shop. So I will find that out. I'm going to give her a call, you guys, after we get this on here, and I will get the name for this one, you guys, because this one's absolutely stunning, and when you see it on here, you're going to freak out. So I've already got my epoxy mixed. because I was working on another tutorial and I knew I was following it up with this one, so I've already got it. So this is the LittleLee and Rose epoxy. It is mixed at ratio of 3:1 by weight. So I weighed it on my kitchen scale right here. This epoxy, you need even less to do the hang method because it's thinner. And so it goes down the cup a lot easier. You don't need to use as much elbow grease, and it cures faster. So it's got a lot of bonus points that it has earned in my book with those features. If you have a hard time with it because it is too thin, you can just let it sit for about 20 minutes, half an hour. It'll thicken up a little bit. I do know that some of you are used to the thicker epoxies like Counterculture. I think it's Faux Rizzle that's also really thick. But this one is the opposite. It's very, very watery. But I really like it for this hang method because it goes on so easy. It seems to be a lot easier for people to work with the hang method. And like I said, it cures very quickly. So you can get products out to your customers a lot faster. I mean, I'm very fast at the hang method because I've done so many, as you guys have seen me do. But now I feel like this epoxy is going to really help you guys. Now, the epoxy is not for sale. It's only available randomly through the swag bag signups on my website. So I will get a lot of questions for that, I'm sure. But that is where it's available now. We're just kind of testing the market with it, see how people like it. So far, there's been a very nice response because you've got no bubbles and it cures super fast. All right, so that one is all ready. We've got our glitter. I believe I got it opened and ready. So now we're going to take this, lift it. If you guys are having an issue with the epoxy separating off the cup, it's because you probably used a high gloss or glossy surfaced paint. And it doesn't stick as well, but if you're covering it with glitter, it doesn't matter too much. It's going to stick on anyway. So just sprinkling it on, getting the whole cup covered. So I'm doing my very high-tech scoop here. Very technical, very hard to very hard technique to learn here is the whole scoop it off the parchment paper. Just kidding, I'm just teasing you guys. All right. So as you guys know, I've been in swag bag mania and my house is under construction and all that good stuff, but I'm loving every minute. I was so excited to start filming again. I was filming the small little tutorials to go along with the swag bag products, and that, even just getting back to that made me go, I need to make a cup for you guys. I miss it. We are hopefully going to be back in our house in the next couple weeks. All right, so now we've got that on there. I'm not sure if it's picking it up on the camera, but you can see all the swirls, the color swirls underneath this glitter. The glitter is just making it super duper vibrant, and then the swirl pattern is showing through it. So what we're going to do is hang this up. And we're going to do what we do with our hang method glitter is we're going to press it down. Now when we press it down, it will actually reveal the color behind it even better. And it lays all this chunky glitter down flat, so it's a lot easier to cover. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so pretty in person. This may be my new favorite cup. I say that every time, but oh man, this one's pretty gorgeous. With the swirl pattern. So that is a hydro dip with the glitter over the top. So I'll show you guys, see if you can see it a little better. See if I can catch the camera, the light angle. But see, you still see all that marbly swirl, but you have that like high flash, crazy sparkly glitter. Again, that's Glitter Gang's white glitter, guys. There is really no comparison. I will get the name of this one for you guys. We'll be right back. We're going to let these let this one cure up for about 4 hours, and we will be back. All right, guys, see you soon. So we're back with the unicorn cup. This cup looks amazing. Probably going to end up keeping this as my personal cup. This is just really to show you guys what it looks like to put a hydro dip underneath this opal. Because the opal type glitters take on all the colors that are behind it. So you can still see all the details of that hydro dip, but with like incredible gleam. So we are going to now mix our epoxy, part A and B. Let's see, my scale turned off. I think for this cup we're going to do 9. grams. I'm going to move this off the fur, guys. I was trying to measure it on camera for you guys so you could see me do it, but the fur is throwing it off. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I always clean my bottle down so I don't have a big mess later to clean up. Okay, so I did 9 grams and 3 grams. I weighed it out on my scale. Even though B is thinner, it's still 3 to 1, and it's by weight with the LittleLee and Rose epoxy, guys. So if you've seen me talk about it with the stir sticks, I still use popsicle sticks because, well, frankly, I have tons of them. I like the other stir sticks, but I have so many of these popsicle sticks, I'm just going to finish them up because I got nothing else to do with them. So you can see there is 0 bubbles in that, guys. It mixes so easy and so wonderfully. No bubbles, even with the popsicle sticks. Popsicle sticks are like the devil when you stir with other epoxies with it. But it works really, really well here. So you can see that this is very watery and very thin. So you can apply it while it's thin, or you can let it sit for about 20 minutes and it'll thicken up. This epoxy has about a 1-hour work time, and it cures a lot faster than other epoxies. So I'm going to show you me just working with it while it's very wet. And I'm just going to work it around the cup. It moves very easy on the cup because it's so liquidy. It takes some getting used to. But once you get accustomed to it, you'll actually really like it because you get easy coverage with the epoxy. I was very used to working with counterculture. You guys have probably heard me say that a couple times. I do Pro Marine and counterculture as my 2 main ones, but now it's pretty much going to be all this beautiful epoxy because this epoxy cures fully in 24 hours. It's pretty amazing. We always say 72. Keep it safe at 72, but when in a pinch, you can rely on it being done faster than the other epoxies. It's pretty awesome. So you guys can just really see that color starting to really pop out from behind that glitter as it's getting covered with the epoxy. And make sure we do the bottom. This glitter is incredible. Oh, and of course Charlotte told me the names, and I can't think of what she told me the name was. I promise by the end I'll have the name. I'll remember it, I'll write it down. If not, I will make sure I put it in the notes. She gave me all the names to the glitters I'm using today. I called her, Charlotte! Charlotte's at Glitter Gang, guys. glittergang.org. She's very supportive of our group. There's been a lot going on in the Facebook group, guys. Super fun. So if you've been not paying attention there, you're probably missing out. We're doing a lot of fun games, a lot of activities. Gearing up. We're having fun summertime stuff going on. Okay, we're just going to, got a little extra left. We're just going to let it go. Let it roll. Yeah, we were laughing. I was trying to make a round of buttons with my new epoxy. And if you don't know what a button is, that's because you're not in my Facebook group. It is an award that I do. But I was making a bunch of buttons, and I was going to go back and stir it. And about 45 minutes later, I was like, oh, I got to go stir that now. And it was already hard. I couldn't stir it. All right. I'm going to zoom that camera down in here and let you guys really get a good look. Let's see. Pull you guys down in. There we go. And let's see if I can get my arms out of the way to get the light out of the way. Can you guys see those colors? Holy bananas! You can see the whole hydro dip underneath the paint. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm not under the paint. You can see the whole hydro dip underneath the glitter. Now I get asked a lot, you guys, about getting the paint out of the inside of the cup. I don't worry about getting paint on the inside of the cup because I just use acetone at the end and wipe everything out. Now some people put Vaseline and all kinds of things, tape and all kinds of stuff inside. I find it takes me more time to fiddle-diddle with that than it does to just at the end wipe it out with acetone. It's super fast. It goes really well. I don't get acetone on the outside. I only do it on the inside. And it's super easy. So that's what I do. I mean, I know how to do everything else. I just don't find it worth my time or effort. The Vaseline, it works great, but if you're new and you accidentally get Vaseline on the outside, you're going to totally screw up your cup. So I don't recommend Vaseline. The taping, again, it takes more time to like get on there and around and flattened on and stuck on really well than it does to just wipe it out with acetone. Now we're going to let this one probably roll for about 4 hours, and it should be pretty darn cure by then. Probably pretty cure to the touch, and we will do a second coat. All right, guys, we'll be back. All right, we're about almost 24 hours later because I got very, very distracted and started doing a bunch of other projects, and now I'm coming back to it. So it's been going, I mean, it ran for about 24 hours. I mean, I turned it off after a couple hours and just let it dry and cure, but so that's what it's been doing. So I'm going to be putting on, I want to have a really nice smooth surface to put all our decals on. So it's really actually almost there. It's very, very close with even just that one coat. But we're going to throw a second coat on just to make sure we have a nice, super smooth, because we are going to work with waterslide and foil. And those both need really smooth surfaces. So I'm going to put you guys on high speed because you've already seen me do the epoxy, but just so you can watch the technique of it again. I also want to point out, this is the silicone mat that was underneath. It had a bunch of little drips on it. And what's great about these is all I had to do was take it and stretch it out, and all that silicone just popped right off and came away and just threw it away. So it's no big deal. So that's what that's down there for, to catch all the little drips. I'm going to have my safety equipment on, my nitrile gloves and my chemical mask, and I'm going to mix, and you guys are going to watch me do one more coat of epoxy. All right, we're back, you guys. This is a beautiful full coat. It is now nice and smooth. It just took that extra little coat. I just wanted to hold this at an angle where you guys can really see all these just cool colors coming through from that hydro dip underneath, because I realize when I lay it flat, it's really shiny, so you guys aren't really picking up all the detail, but it is absolutely gorgeous. So now we're going to put on our decals. Oh, and I want to share with you guys, this is glittergang.org, and it's Balos Lagoon, BALOS LAGOON. That is on the glittergang.org website, guys. Balos Lagoon. I called her and I got the name so I didn't screw that up for you guys so you can order it. And you can see it's absolutely crazy sparkly. And because it's like an opal, it shows all the colors through of the hydro dip still, so you can still pick up all the detail. Okay, so now we are going to put on our decal. We are doing water slide. You can see just over here, I've got my water slide soaking. I've got it upside down. I'm letting really just soak up the water. This is going to be a white water slide. I wanted to make sure that you could see all the details on this cup. So white water slide is a little bit more difficult to work with beyond the regular clear water slide. So I'm going to show you guys how I do it. And we're just going to let that soak in. So what we're also going to be doing is some glow-in-the-dark stars. This is the new LittleLee and Rose glow vinyl. It's really thick, heavy duty. I cut it on the custom settings for birch, and I put it on less pressure. When you put it on more pressure, it actually cuts all the way through. So if you want it cut all the way through, you can. Less pressure just cuts it and works well. So it just depends on what you want to do with it, you guys. But cut it on custom settings for birch. And so you're going to see this. I will turn the lights off. It's a beautiful aqua. Then I also printed out some pink stars in regular vinyl. So we're going to mix up the glow in the dark and the pink stars. And we've got the eyelashes for the unicorn in black vinyl. So let's see. Our little water slide over here has been soaking for a minute. Let's give it a test. So the way I test it is I give it a little tug, and if I can feel it release from the backing, then it is ready. This one is still not quite ready. It's almost there. So I'm gonna go ahead and what you wanna do is take a few drips of the water. I'm just dabbed my hand in the water and drip it onto the cup. And so you have a little moisture on the cup for when you're ready to apply it. We're gonna give it just a second and we'll be right back. So we've let it soak for about another 60 seconds. We're gonna come back now and I'm gonna show you kind of what I do. Make sure there's still some moisture on there. And so what I do is I just push it. You can see now it's moving a lot more free. So what I do is I just gently work it away from the edge around all the edges and make sure that it's not attached anywhere on. When you're working with the white water slide, you definitely want to seal before you cut it. If you wait till after, the edges get sealed down and it won't move freely. So you want to print your image onto the white water slide, then seal it, then cut it. That's really important because you will mess up your entire water slide if you do not follow that. So now what we want to do is kind of lay it down and slide it up. You can see I'm just pushing and revealing the bottom piece just a little bit, and then I'm just going to slide it out from underneath. Now because you have that moisture underneath, you will be able to reposition and move it around a little bit. Okay, so we just slide that out. Then I take this is my one of my weeding tools, and I'm just going to get underneath and make sure nothing is wrinkled up. And I use my little weeding tool to kind of get underneath where I have to if it's folded, and I unfold it with the weeding tool. Okay, so now we've got all the folds out. You can see you don't want to work it too much because you don't want to accidentally screw up the ink on the image, because if you mess with it too much, you will crack it. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take, this is just a silicone makeup brush. I love these for this. They work really, really well. And I'm going to work all the wrinkles out and all the air bubbles from underneath. There we go. Okay, so that one is nice and smooth and it's laid down on there. Super duper cute unicorn. We're gonna now let this dry before we work on the rest because I don't want any moisture on the surface when we're applying the other vinyl. Because that will, obviously it won't stick very well. So we're gonna just go ahead and stick this in front of a fan for about 20 minutes, let all the water dry off it, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. It is dry. This is pretty much in place now. Nice and smooth and flat down. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply my eyelashes. So these are just printed with a Cricut cutting machine. And we are gonna lay these down right there. Super duper duper cute. These are just so popular. So there you guys see how cute that is with the eyelashes, the little eyes, and the beautiful watercolored unicorn. Okay, so now we're gonna put that off to the side. Now I'm gonna use my tweezers, and I wanna make it look like there's little stars kind of coming out from almost like little teardrops off to the side. And we're gonna mix it up between the pink and the glow in the dark. So what I'm gonna do is I bend the glow in the dark just a little bit to lift up one, and I'm just gonna place them all over. So they're just gonna be kind of dotted around. This is gonna be our glow feature on this cup. It's gonna be super cool. A little tedious, but such a fun aspect of the cup. So we're just gonna work this all the way around the cup, all these little kind of fun little tiny stars. And that one, I'm not sure it's sticky. Oh, yep. All right, so we're just making it so the stars just kind of work themselves around the cup, coming out from the corner of the unicorn's eye. So I think that should be plenty. Let's stick this one right there. Okay, so now we're gonna add the pink stars. So now we're just gonna mix in the pink vinyl stars here. I'm just gonna take it like this, just drop each little corner down, mix these cute little pink stars in there. This is kind of the tedious part to watch, guys, but it's a fun technique. And it's gonna give a really, really cool look when we're done. Let's see. Maybe a little star there. Oops. And one more little star here. All right, so that's gonna look super good. All right, let's see. I think we have too much light pollution. I might have to wait till tonight to show you guys the glow feature. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna actually spray seal this. I'm gonna seal over the top of it. Even though the water slide is sealed, I don't want any epoxy getting underneath it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this outside and do a clear coat spray over everything. And then we will get it on the rotator and get it on the turner and get it epoxied over the top of this. Now this glow vinyl, it does take quite a bit of epoxy. We're probably gonna have to do at least 2 layers to go over the top of this glow vinyl because it is a little thicker, but it's totally worth it, guys. All right, I'm gonna take it outside and spray it with my matte clear spray, and we'll be back. All right, so it's late at night, it's very dark, and I'm gonna turn off the lights and see the glow. Oh my gosh, is that not super cool, you guys? I'm so excited about this one. All right, so this only has 1 layer of epoxy on it. It is just rolling around the turner. And we're gonna keep working on it. Probably needs another coat. I might have to sand a little bit over those stars just to get the sharp points off. But this cup is gorgeous. It's super glassy. The finish is really, really nice, but it's only got 1 layer. So it's probably gonna need another layer, at least maybe 2 more to get a nice smooth surface over these stars. So we'll do this again. Here they go. That's that glow vinyl, guys. It is amazing. All right, here we go. Lights back on. I just wanted to show you guys the glow feature of those stars and how cool it is. And we're gonna let this turn overnight and we'll add some more layers, probably sand it a little bit and add some layers in the morning. Good night, guys. See you later. All right, guys, as I mix here, I'm just mixing the last, hopefully last round of epoxy needed for this cup. I've got my chemical mask on, my nitrile gloves. We're being super safe, even though this is a no VOC epoxy. I'm always just extra careful. I've got my silicone mat down to catch any drips. I've got my silicone brush ready to apply. Now this looks a little foggy. That is because I actually went through and sanded it down. So I sanded any lumps, bumps, anywhere that had a rough spot or anything weird. I just went over with my my Dremel tool. It is a Drill Master. It's on my Amazon shopping list. It'll be underneath this tutorial. I use that because hand sanding takes forever. So I use the little special sanding machine, and I just did the whole surface. All right, so we've got our epoxy mixed. Now this is just going to be a nice thin coat to bring the shine back to the cup. Now, something important to keep in mind when you're working with this epoxy, guys, is for some reason with other epoxies, when you use a matte finish spray, it's fine. But with this one, you don't want to use any kind of matte finish coat. It tends to stay cloudy underneath the epoxy. It doesn't get that vibrant shine back as other epoxies do. So that would just be my little word of advice when using the LittleLee and Rose epoxy is don't use a matte finish, use a satin finish for your spray paints. But you can see the shine is coming right back to this with this little coat, this last little coat of epoxy. Making sure we get some on all the edges here. So we did the sanding really to get rid of any little sharp points off the corners of our stars. And to get it, like I said, a nice soft smooth surface. When we do this layer of epoxy, it's not going to be a super thick layer. This now is just to kind of bring the shine back after sanding it. Oh, and I dripped a little bit, but that's okay because we've got the mat underneath. Just make sure everything has a good coat on it. Go to the bottom here. Alright, that should be good. So this should be our last layer. We will keep our fingers crossed that I didn't screw anything up. I tried not to touch this cup with my bare hands after I washed it from sanding it. So the surface should stay relatively smooth. And hopefully we don't get any fish eyes so that this can be our last layer. Alright. Let's just say no fish eyes, no epoxy repelling. Let's make this work. Alright, I'm going to wipe off my silicone brush. I just find that, yeah, the silicone brushes, the epoxy doesn't stick to, but it's still just a lot easier to clean up than if you just wipe it off. Alright, so this one, we're going to let it go, and we'll see you in a little bit, guys. Alright, guys, this tumbler is done. This has 2 coats, actually, no, sorry, 3 coats over the stars. I did 2 coats, then I sanded down really well, and I did the 3rd coat just to get the nice smooth finished. Now, when you guys sand, I see this question asked a lot. When you're sanding, if it looks buffed and rough, the next layer of epoxy will shine it right back up. So I see a lot of people asking questions like, I sanded it and it's not shiny anymore. Did I do something wrong? No, you did not do anything wrong. You just need to do another layer of epoxy over the top. So we've got the super cute unicorn, the gorgeous swirly marble over behind it with the overlay of glitter. And I'm gonna turn the lights out real quick to see if we can get a glow. It's the middle of the day, guys, so we may not get a ton of glow. You can see the ambient light from my windows. I got the windows closed, but it's so cool. The little stars are little unicorn stars. And with that, the unicorn glitter dip is done. So this is just a hydro dip with a full layer of opal glitter over the top with a super cute, fun glow and vinyl and white water slide details. All right, guys, I hope you guys learned something new. Again, there will be a fun list underneath here for where you can get the decals and the stickers and all the tips and tricks and supply lists, and everything will be under this tutorial. Just click where it says LittleLee and Rose Read More. Click the Read More. It'll give you the whole menu of everything. Also, come join us on our Facebook group. Guys, we have a lot of fun in there. We're a big, big group. There's a lot of knowledge and a lot of people there ready to help you. I also go live and teach stuff that's in the Facebook group that is not on my YouTube channel. I just go in there and do quick little live videos, show you cool tips and tricks, things on hacks on how to do these. What you see in my YouTubes are my straightforward tutorials, but the Facebook group is a lot of fun. We play a lot of games, we do a lot of prizes, lots of giveaways, a lot of interaction. You can feel free to ask questions and post and brag about the cups you're making. So jump on over there. The link again will be under this tutorial. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. It was a fun one to shoot. My kids kept trying to steal this cup because it has unicorns and glow in the dark and glitter, you know, all their favorite things. But this one is going to a special home. So on that, I wish you guys all the best, and I'll see you guys on the next tutorial.